What's up, guys? It's your boy Sando here for another New World discussion video about the new upcoming patch changes for the season of Fellowship and Fire. The patch notes have been released on PTR. I have been playing the PTR. This footage in the background here is from the live game. I wanted to kind of sit and kind of test out stuff in PTR a little bit more to get a real grasp as far as on what was going to change and how everything's feeling. I will say that from the video I made earlier last week talking about grit and how it should be removed or changed, I didn't even know that those changes were coming in the patch, and it definitely got a lot of people upset. Is the grit change from 300 con is a win? For me, I don't know as of now, not so much. But I do know that heavy armor bruisers, we'll talk about a little bit later, I think they're going to see a rise here, and they are definitely a lot scarier as far as their overall play and potential. But going on to some other changes here about the weapon abilities, like the hammer, great axe, they got nerfed. Great sword took away from the hit too. Hatchet came out with a dub for Defy Death, I think. It's kind of an instant heal now, which is pretty good. And there were some other changes here, but I mainly focused on the melee stuff on this channel, so we're gonna go over most of those. One thing not melee we'll kind of throw in there is that Fire Staff is feeling a bit overpowered at the moment. Mainly due to one thing, it's counterplay. I think every weapon's kind of power is devised by what counters it. What is the counterplay option? And with Fire Staff, I don't think the heavy attacks that do the AoE explosion, it goes directly through block for full heavy attack damage, and I don't think that's a good gameplay mechanic to have in the game. It doesn't really have any counters. Also too, I'm seeing a lot of Fire Staff mixed with Blunderbuss, but Blunderbuss by itself has already proven that it is a super powerful weapon. Another main thing that got changed here that is going to affect a lot of melees, and my build in particular, is the Fortify and Rend changes. Fortify now increases your armor, which is something I was a little bit excited about before until I kind of got my hands on it, because gems and other certain absorptions are still counted as absorptions, but Fortify no longer increases that absorption and just increases your armor. This is going to be good for certain play styles, but if you were stacking a lot of Fortify to Fire to begin with, like in this background footage here, the only way I'm winning this is because I'm stacking a bunch of Fortify. If I was not stacking a bunch of Fortify and with the additional weaken, then these people would have easily killed me here. One other thing too for the footage in the background I want to quickly point out is that having Plague Strikes on the Great Axe and the quick heavy attacks, that's the key to winning this fight. If I did not have Plague Strikes, I would not be killing them inside of a healing circle. So they're probably wondering what's going on, and that's what's going on. They're just getting super defiled, and they're not able to heal up as they should. One other thing too is that, from going back to the Fortify changes here, it increases the armor, and I don't really know how to feel about it because armor has a separate formula here, and it also has a soft cap as far as what you can get to make it the most effective. I can say that this will need some more testing to kind of see what works out in being the stronger setup for having how much Fortify, and to when you reach a point where it's not really viable anymore. This will be a little bit more difficult for my setup and build because I may have multiple sources of Fortify, but they may not all be up at the same time, so that will take some more testing. One of the other testing things I did do here is I did do a recent collaboration with Atlas, the PvP tank. A lot of people may know him, and we did some testing on Freedom. Heavy is getting the 20% built-in Freedom for the Fellowship of Fire season. This is really good and goes back to that underlying class that I think is about to take an uptick in playability, is the heavy armor Great Axe Warhammer or heavy armor Sword and Shield Great Axe, which is definitely a combination I've played before and I've really liked. But those two together with the built-in Freedom, a heavy armor player with a Sword and Shield Great Axe 5 Freedom with the built-in 20%, making 70% Freedom, there is not too much you can do to stop that thing. He will be like an unkillable juggernaut running around the field with bloodlust, chasing everybody down. You can't outrun him. He has leaping strike, shield bash, which doesn't get calculated correctly by the shield bash upgrade, but the 70% freedom does interact with that and does allow him to get loose. So not even another sword and shield tank can stop him. This is something that I'm kind of going to dabble into myself and see how it works out. It will also make the recently trashed here great axes that were refreshing with Thwarting Strike's attunement. Well, any kind of Thwarting Strike's attunement great sword will be good with that heavy armor setup. As far as the other changes here that I wanted to point out, there still is a lot of testing to be done on PTR, but from the overall looks of it, everybody's getting a bit squishier. I will see a lot of people are really upset about the changes to the grit loss, and with the stagger removed, I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue. One thing I will say is that I think people are really upset because you're going to have to fight people more. There's going to be counterplay. There's going to be the use of kill conditions. You're going to need to basically be able to set up a kill. Fights don't particularly last longer, but they can be ended quicker with the right kill conditions met. This will be an interesting way to see the game move forward. Right now it's kind of you just try to strong arm somebody and just get in their face and just like light attack them down with grit, and you know you're unstoppable, you can't really do anything. This was going to be a good change because this is kind of how I've always played the game. I do have kill conditions. I do have, you know, you have to have a setup for it in order for me to do the damage, because like I said, I'm in heavy armor, which has its own downsides when it comes to doing damage. I think this is going to be a good look for the game. I think Fire Staff with the heavy attack going through block needs to be a little bit changed. I do think Blunderbuss needs to come down in its power potential right now. Right now, if everything goes through like it is in the patch here, for the current meta, you're going to see Fire Staffs with Blunderbusses, and you're going to see just a lot more Blunderbuss in general, but you're going to see a lot more Fire Staffs as well. I'm okay with Fire Staff coming from power, but the counters need to be there in order to take that character, take that person down. One other side note I did want to add in as well is that since everybody did get squishier, Flamethrower didn't get changed, but it is way more dangerous to use. If you see somebody just flamethrowing you down and walking towards you like that, they are in a static position, they're stuck in it, it is going to be very dangerous for them. But the offside of that is a group or team of 2 or more Fire Staffs flamethrowing you is a death sentence. So I think we are kind of getting to the point where we have a little bit of balance coming up, and I can't wait to see how it goes. And once I get some more testing on the PTR, I'll go ahead and try to report back to you guys and let you know where we find it. Alright guys, take it easy.